Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm, the series where lightning strikes whenever we have something to talk about. So, we have something to talk about. So, if you remember maybe, like a couple months ago, or I guess a month ago, or whenever it was, I had said that if Hasbro didn't reveal anything cool or do anything of any importance for Power Rangers Day, that I would drop something cool. And we all know how that went. PowermorRangers, the bad tweets, the really ridiculous t-shirt with a bunch of errors. I made a t-shirt out of that to kind of poke fun at that whole thing, which if you'd like to pick one up for yourself, here is one of my subscribers and Patreon supporters, Caboose Ed, wearing it, and it looks fantastic, so be sure to get your own, which will be in the description. But today we're going to be talking about the thing that I said would be kind of cool, and it's not Lightning Collection news per se. There's nothing to talk about with news except for, like, I guess Amazon might be shipping out the next remastered wave here pretty soon. I got a delivery update on my green. But this is something that I stumbled upon a couple of months ago, and it's just been public information out there if you know where to find it, and before it possibly gets privatized or whatever, because it was private actually for a period of time. You had to have a password to get into it. And apparently not anymore. If you're familiar at all with the Power Rangers live streams, you might recognize Jarrett. He's appeared on a couple different streams, kind of showing off things like Zap and just a couple of other projects and Lightning Collection reveal items. I remember him popping up on a couple different streams. Well, on his website, he kind of has a little blog post or kind of a little post about what he's done for Hasbro, the kind of things he did behind the scenes, and it kind of gives us a really unique behind the scenes perspective on how certain things in the Lightning Collection came to be, and kind of the pitch meetings that went into those, or their marketing strategies and stuff like that. So on the retrospective tab, he has some things about some different campaigns, marketing campaigns like for the TMNT figures, which was really interesting. There's a PowermorRangers page, but it's not available, it's privatized. And for a period of time, there was a TMNT 2 page, but that's gone now. So I don't know if that was supposed to be, and that was also privatized, so I don't know if that was supposed to be like for possible TMNT 2 figures or something, which I would have loved to see. But the one that is not privatized anymore is the page on Zap. So today I wanted to take a look at the ZORD Ascension Project Zap website entry that he talked about, and kind of talk about the interesting things that he revealed about the development and the pitch of this subline. So let's dive right into that.
The Star Wars team is like, come on guys, let's get to Star Wars.
Alright, so here is the Zap page on Jarrett's website, which will be linked in the description below if you'd like to check this out on your own and stuff like that. So it looks like Jarrett's role was he was an art director, concept design, typography, type goth. I can't speak for some reason. And then partners, Sam, Jordan, John. You probably recognize all these guys. I know Sam's been on the streams before. We obviously know Jordan very well. This was the other John that used to be part of the team. He wasn't anymore. We have illustrators. We have like the typeface stuff, like really cool things. And then we have just a big picture of the ZORD Ascension Project logo. And their goal was to develop a repeatable and scalable co-branded identity system for Zords and Megazords. They were going to do this by selling the story of building on the lore that Power Rangers are seeing through the lens of Megazords. We would take fans behind the scenes and put them into the cockpits. Use works that cross all touch points, whatever that means. The experience doesn't stop with this. The product and the painted materials. At the end of the day, we have provided more value for the spend by creating opportunities to leverage artwork created in venues such as social media, and I don't know what that one is supposed to be. CP? Concept? Something? I don't know. But what's really cool here is that we have really unique perspectives that we never really get to see of kind of what was the inspiration from the packaging standpoint, which I find extremely fascinating. So you have Gundam artworks, you have some Transformers stuff here, a lot of other tokusatsu mecha genre-esque things, and I really like this kind of whole inspiration slides. And you can also see here on that last slide the inspiration for like the sliding case on the box and kind of the box style. I really like this kind of stuff. And the fact that Jarrett posted all this on his site and made it public, I really appreciate that, because it's just such a unique opportunity that we never usually get to dive into the kind of development on certain items that we ended up getting. And I really like here, it's just basically the whole point of this project, the mission statement, was an interdimensional hard-to-light archive and shipyard that the Morphin Masters use to catalog and maintain any and all Zords that have, do, or will exist in the Power Rangers universe. Inside this archive, we find all available information related to the Zords, their pilots, their powers, their weapons, their biggest enemies, and other things. And that was what the ZORD Ascension Project story was supposed to be. They never said that, like at all. They had talked about on different streams, there was that big stream at the end of 2021 where they talked about like what Zap could have and how nothing was off the table. They could do stuff from the show, just stuff from movies, stuff from comics, video games. They even said something about they could even make something up on their own, and they never really specified what that could possibly mean.
We have almost 30 years of story on Power Rangers, and we really wanted to like pay homage to that a little bit. And so we wanted to do that without tying ourselves down to only what exists. And so we've really given not just our toy designers freedom to go out and like come up with some cool big robots, but also like whatever happens in the future, whether that's, you know, TV shows, movies, comic books, like video games, there's room for all of that.
Yeah, and you'll actually see that in the numbering sequences that we've created for ZORD Ascension project.
And so what really interesting to me, because we never got to see this, is that there was actually ideas for what movie and comic naming conventions could be. And I really like the idea of that. So basically, there is no explanation as to where this comic one's coming from, but as right here, he has MZ 2017, as if this doesn't mean by any means that the Turtle Megazord and the 2017 movie Megazord were actually in product development. That's not what that means at all. It's just a concept for if they were to do movies and if they were to do comics, what would they label those as? I don't know what MZV1 would have been, 0.3. I don't know what that's supposed to mean in terms of, like, I don't know why that's the classification for the Turtle Megazord from the crossover. But it's just really interesting to have seen that they were thinking about that, and the fact that Zap is never going to get to continue to do that, because that line, I mean, with the whole Lightning Collection going on hiatus, it doesn't look good for any more Zap releases at all anyway, but Zap itself was a really kind of flawed product line to where none of them sold very well whatsoever, and it kind of died before it really had a chance. But what's really nice here too is that you have the fonts that were used for Zap, and I do want to say shout out to my buddy Eric Trickeby47 from Ranger Command. He put together, using this picture I sent him, he put together the behind the scenes text that you saw on the thumbnail for today's video, so thank you, Eric. I really appreciate that. But you have basically the fonts and stuff here, and then the website ends with Zap NFT. Get psyched. So, yeah. But that's pretty much it for Jared's little website here on the ZORD Ascension project. And since, like I said, this was privatized for a period of time and was only made public somewhat recently, I stumbled upon, I forget exactly how I stumbled upon it, but I stumbled upon it a couple months ago and it was locked. And he said something about, if you want the password, send me an email or whatever. And I did. He never responded. He ghosted me. But besides that, eventually the website just went up public and I went, oh crap. So I saved all the pictures and I wanted to make sure I did a little cool archive video here to kind of just go through it and share that information with everybody in case he privatizes it again or something like that. But Jared, if you're somehow watching this, thank you so much for the insight on this. There was also a really interesting, fascinating insight on the marketing campaign for how the TMNT figures came to be. And if you guys like this video, let me know down in the comments below if you guys would like to see me kind of dive through that one. I would love to take a look at whatever is on that PowermorRangers page, because I don't think there would have been Lightning Collection figures or anything for that, but I really want to see what the insight was and what Jarrett had an involvement in with that. But of course, you'd like to see more Lightning Collection videos like this now the line is kind of on a break and we kind of dive into the more weirder, obscure things or kind of more retrospective things now that we have a lot of hindsight with the line. Be sure to like and subscribe so you guys can see more Lightning Collection content, because I'm going to keep making more Lightning Collection content. But with that, it is going to do it for this week's episode of Lightning Storm. So of course, until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR, and I will see you all on Lightning Storm, the series where lightning used to always strike twice. To wrap up this video, I'd like to thank my $5 and above patrons: Jurassic Samurai, Maggot Alchemist, Robert Browning, Static Thunder, Brendan Overland, Maji Yellow, MCPC Studios, James Darty, Eric Berry, Matthew Thorne, Josh Landry, Pyramidus, CBT Tesla, Cross SCV, Caboose Ed, Socket Monsters, Daniel Pika, Hella Geo, Thrasher, Jesus Prime, Uni Warrior Thomas, Louis Carnes, and Carlos Alfredo. You can support Toku Topics for as little as $1 a month on my Patreon, linked in the description below.